Good day to you all, AsaQr with you, and today in Mobile Hero Wars I'm going to show you the new hero Lara Croft at maximum level. Subscribe to my channel, here you will find a lot of unique information you didn't know before. The new hero Lara Croft, being a marksman in her class, has joined a path of progress. This is the first hero in Hero Wars to have such a large history and iconic legacy in general. I remember back in my childhood in computer games with pleasure interacted with this adventurer, and now I am sure that in Hero Wars Lara Croft will successfully consolidate in the role of the most interesting character, and she can already be called one, but let's talk about it in order. At the time of May 2024, balance of power among all heroes is tipped in favor of physic heroes, and so it's fitting that the new hero is one as well. Lara Croft's main characteristic is agility, and she is positioned behind Ginger and in front of Dark Star, which is pretty typical of most marksmen in the 4th position. At max level with 40 glyphs level, she has just over 270,000 health, which is very good for a hero with the main agility characteristic, and considering that she already has a health-based skin. Lara Croft's base attack speed is noticeably below average, and she attacks slowly, ranking right next to Astaroth in this metric. She is second only to Dante and Martha, but this base attack speed is due to Lara's skills, which we will talk about a little later. All the more worth considering that she has as many as 3 active abilities. Lara also has a first artifact with the effect of physical attack. This is a typical effect for a damage dealer, but it's not so simple with this artifact either. Plus, it's worth noting that in addition to health skin, Lara already has skins for critical hit chance and physical attack, as well as a talisman for armor penetration. This immediately puts the new marksman on the same level as all the others. Lara is not lagging behind in terms of characteristics of other damage dealers, so her effectiveness will mainly rely on the abilities, which are extremely interesting, and now we'll take them apart. Their game description you can see on the screen, but let's still deal with Lara Croft's abilities together. Her skills should be seen in practice. With her first skill, Lara Croft activates an ancient relic. All enemies take physical damage and all allies instantly regain some health under the influence of the relic. Damage to opponents is instant and physical, also it tends to crit. It is calculated from 40% of Lara's physical attack and an additional 84 units. Ultimate's animation is fast, so it's very hard to disrupt her use of the ability. Passive effect, Lara Croft takes 2 shots during basic attacks. This is the reason why we can divide her attack speed time by 2, resulting in 3 seconds 31 milliseconds, which puts her on a par with Yasmine and Fafnir, the fastest attack speed heroes in the game. But Yasmine has no active abilities at all, and Fafnir has only 1, while Lara Croft has 3 active abilities, which together with her double base attack make her one of the fastest heroes in the game due to her quick energy accumulation on her ult. The second skill allows Lara Croft to concentrate, increasing her critical hit chance and critical hit damage from 200% to 300%. This ability has a good cooldown of 16 seconds and a duration of 8 seconds, so Lara will be under this effect for about half of the entire fight. She is the first hero in the game to have critical hits that can deal 3 times the damage instead of 2 times, which certainly increases her attack potential and allows her to deal even more damage with her ultimate and arrow with her 3rd skill. Speaking of which, with her 3rd skill, Lara Croft fires a steady arrow shot at the center opponent. All enemies within the blast radius take physical damage and are stunned for 3 seconds. Skill recharge is 14 seconds. A very useful element of control. As a hero marksman, the damage is significant, plus the fact of stun is very useful for allies. This arrow gains additional time to recharge your heroes. This skill reminds me of Faceless Power Throw in its controlling nature. It's that cool. Therefore, Lara Croft's arsenal consists not only of physical attacks, but also of stuns. But that's not all. After all, her fourth skill called Lost Knowledge makes this hero extremely interesting not only as an aggressive damage dealer, but also as an unpredictable defensive character. Using this skill, Lara Croft increases her physical attack until the end of the fight, unearths a random artifact shard, and incorporates it into her artifact weapon. Subsequent applications of ultimate ability additionally activate the effect of the unearthed artifact. Let me remind you of the list of possible bonuses of the first artifacts: magic attack, armor, magic protection, armor penetration, magic armor penetration, critical hit chance, and dodge. Bonuses cannot be repeated, and the power of the bonus depends on the current level of the hero's artifact level. In practice, it looks like this. Lara Croft applies ultimate for the first time in combat and dispenses her effect from the first artifact to a physical attack. Immediately after that, she applies this skill and finds an artifact for armor, for example, so the next ultimate will not only deal out to all allies and her the extra physical attack from the first artifact, but also armor. With the next use of this skill, Lara unearths another random artifact, such as armor penetration, and also adds it to the already active artifacts for physical attack and to the one that was dug up before, in our considered case, armor. The recharge of this skill is 20 seconds, and this means that at the end of the fight, if it drags on, Lara will be able to deal all 7 effects from the first artifact that I listed earlier. Given the analysis of her abilities, who is this character made for? I think she extremely versatile and will appeal to anyone who plays engineers, teams with Fafnir and Tristan, and those who use Octavia and Dante. In engineers, she can successfully replace Ginger or Astrid. The latter is very good at the expense of Lucas, but in defense, Astrid dies to Iris very quickly. That's her only significant flaw. Lara, on the other hand, while not having as high a penetration as Astrid and not having as much defense in the form of Lucas, still makes up for it by dealing out a wide variety of effects from her first artifact, and the stun arrow will help you last longer on defense. Fafnir and Tristan will be very happy to hand out their positive effects to Lara Croft and boost her already huge offensive potential. Plus, don't forget that she increases her own physical attack, which will go great with the extra physical attack from Fafnir's sword. Using Lara Croft with Dante and Octavia makes sense from the point of view that every new artifact dug up is random, and it will become more and more difficult to predict the development of the battle with this in mind. On top of that, she herself is capable of distributing a dodge effect to all allies, making it even harder for a team with this nimble pair to break through. Sure, Lara Croft doesn't have any superlatives, and as a damage dealer, Yasmine and Kayla are still more interesting than her, but that's also why there are no counter heroes like Corvus against her. From that perspective, Lara can be safely used against many lineups, knowing that she's never redundant, especially in engineers. Of course, if you pick on it, you could come to the conclusion that her counter hero is Oya because of the mark luring her to the first position. Good thing this can be adjusted by leveling characters and sparks, but Oya in general is an unrealistically strong character, especially against engineers. Therefore, Lara Croft is literally a versatile, very useful both in attack and defense hero, which further diversified the game. Arguably the best 4th position marksman in our game now, and only Yasmine and Kayla can compete with her. Let's see how the balance of the heroes will develop further, because the dominant physic heroes have been further strengthened, and what to expect next, we can only guess. In general, who has engineers, Lara Croft is really recommended to level, but remember that it will not save you from the typical problems in the path of progress, namely from Mushy, Oya, and the twins. Sebastian, Nebula, Fafnir, and Tristan are her best friends. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you all again soon.